cool. Frankie is so outrageous that I think it was harder for him to play under the radar. You know what I mean? That was my game plan going in, and that's the thing that I think makes us the most different. I won't say that one is better or worse. Listen, I think that there's no right or wrong way to play the Big Brother game. Every single person is different and unique, and you have to know what is the best game for you to play. But the best game for me to play is different than the best game for you to play, Jacob. We can't go in there and play the same game. I can't go into that house and play the same exact game that Mickey played and win. I wouldn't have won. I would have not been good. So I had to play the best game for Tommy. And what you do is, I did a lot of soul searching before the show. I figured out what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, and I learned, I concentrated on my strengths and what I needed to do in that house to get further.
Awesome. So while we're talking about the house guests, you mentioned in this interview earlier, Ian, we just talked about Frankie, and I know I've been following on in all your pre-season press. You mentioned Davon a lot. Is there any other house guests?
Any other house guests?
That are your favorites?
My favorites, I loved Ian. Derek. Derek is he's amazing. He was incredible. I loved how chill he was all the time. He played under the radar. He did. He was controlling everything, but I got to say, Derek was more hands-on than I was in the house. Way more. I can't even compare.
Oh, yeah, because one of my things when I talked to him in 2018 for another gig I did, I talked to him about the time where Frankie just won HOA, battle the block all by himself, and still had to diffuse a situation it was a do-or-die situation for him, and he revealed that he was Ariana's brother, to Caleb, to Zach, to Cody, and to Derek, and he was able to diffuse that situation because it could have been a live wire.
100%. Yeah. No, he was incredible. He was more hands-on in a subtle way. I was kind of trying to let everybody else go crazy around me and then just float. I hate that word, but that was my plan, was to just kind of coast to the end, to maneuver my way through the madness and the chaos of the house to the end.
Alrighty, but however, that plan came unraveled very quickly when a very, 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 very familiar face from your past walked into the house. So what was the reaction when Christy walked into the house? What was your reaction?
I was shocked. I had heard through, Staten Island's a small place. I had heard through the grapevine that she was in for it, but then the casting director that I had told me that there's no shot that they would put two gays from Staten Island on the show. So I thought it was one or the other. And when I got my key, I was like, it's me. It's not her. And then I walk into the house and I'm seeing all these people. Lo and behold, Christy Murphy walks in. She's in the last group. Oh, man, I'm actually getting chills and getting emotional thinking back to that moment. It was so scary because I was so excited to play this game, and in that moment, I realized the game that I had planned on playing had to completely change.
Because you guys would have been targeted immediately.
Yeah, you know what it is? Listen, people pair up as showmances, and then they become targets. But it takes a bit for them to pair off. If we would have revealed that we knew each other in the beginning, we would have been seen as a duo and not a single. Being seen as a duo early in the game it can't happen. You'll get kicked out immediately.
Look what happened with Justin Cody and Swaggy and Bailey.
Yes, exactly. So we had to at least get by the first half of the game without our secret getting out. And then once you get to a certain point, you're like, well, we got to keep it going. We can't tell the secret now. Then we'll look like liars. So then it gets tricky. So yeah, that's kind of what we had to do. I think we did a pretty good job. I really do. And, it was pretty nuts. Part of me wishes that I could have gotten the chance to play this game alone, but the other part of me that comes out of this, the other part of me feels so grateful that I had Christy to go through it with, because, Christy and I, we had our relationship was completely different before we went into the house. We were, I don't want to say acquaintances, but she was my aunt's girlfriend. They would break up on and off. So I always kept Christy at an arm's length. I always knew that I could be very close to her, but I didn't want to allow myself to go there because they were always breaking up and getting back together. And I, had to be there for my aunt. I couldn't be so close to Christy. So, going through the experience with her, I am so incredibly grateful that I got to do that with her. Now she is one of my, if not my best friend. Like, she's my everything. I love her. We talk every single day on the phone. So many people, they go through this experience together, and maybe say they're showmans, and they leave, and there's the pressures of being in a relationship. On the outside world, they affect people as a couple. But Christy and I, we got to go through the Big Brother experience together, and we come out of the house, we still have each other, and we don't have to deal with the pressures of being in a relationship. We're not boyfriend and girlfriend, we're best friends. So it's so easy, and I'm so grateful that I have her now. And, I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to be best friends forever because of this.
And and absolutely. I was just going to bring up Cliff and Nicole, and also not to mention Tyler and Casey and Paul and Victor. They all, and Davon and Jason.
Yep.
All of them have formed very strong friendships.
Yep, 100%.
I would love to talk to you about, because you definitely are a very musical person.
Yeah.
And also and here's the thing with social media as well. But here's the thing: how did you survive almost 90 days? What were some of the biggest challenges you faced during your time in that house, and how did you overcome those obstacles?
So I probably the hardest thing in the house for me was no singing and no music, and I would always get in trouble from the Big Brother gods, the voices. They would always say, "Please stop singing." So then I asked one of the producers or one of the people in the DR, I forget, or the voice of Big Brother. I would say, "Am I allowed to make up my own song and sing it? Because the rights to that song doesn't exist. If anything, now Big Brother, you're going to own the rights because I'm making up the song in your house on your show." And they said yes. So then I would start singing my own song. But then, I don't know if there was a miscommunication or what, but the Big Brother gods would still yell at me. And then instead of me just listening and calmly saying, "Okay, I'll stop," I would get mad and I would start talking back to Big Brother. I'd be like, you guys, there's a miscommunication. You're giving me mixed signals. I want to sing my own song. I would get really mad and yell at them. Oh, God, that was not my proudest moment. So that was definitely the hardest thing for me to be in the house. So many people went nuts, or not went nuts, but just they struggled with not being able to go outside, with being bored. I didn't struggle with that. As long as I have someone to talk to, I'm good. You could literally put me wherever, as long as I have a friend with me, then I'm a happy guy. I'm easy to please in that sense. But I like to sing. I like to, express myself in that way, and that was really hard to not do that.
And here's the thing. I'm surprised because you were faced for your own original song, because Tyler and Casey and JC's song about Tyler kept playing on loops upon loops.
Yep. No, I think that we are. I don't really know the truth, honestly, still to this day. Some people would not, sometimes we were allowed to sing our own songs and sometimes we weren't. So it seems like not everyone was on the same page.
Okay, so you have got two colorful costume punishments. You had Poison Ivy with Christy, and then you had a rocket, which, by the way, everyone on the social media world looked like the five-letter P word.
I know. I didn't even realize that when I was in there. It's so funny. Oh, my God. It looked like a huge, Whoops.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, I know. I didn't even realize that when I was there. I'm pretty oblivious.
Don't worry, but however, I'm just saying what all the Big Brother people have said. All it's been reported on Rob Has a Podcast. It's been reported by Mad Rose. It's been reported by Your Reality Recaps and Carter Matt as well. So
So funny. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah, so I looked like a big penis, I guess. And, well, it is what it is. But funny enough, the punishment that I hated the most was poison ivy. I hated being pink. It was so uncomfortable. My skin was just, I wanted to rip it off. It was torture. Honestly, torture. Hated it. I couldn't shower. I was getting in trouble. I was trying to wash my feet, and then they were yelling at me for washing my feet. It was just, I'm a very clean person. I would shower before bed every night before I got into my sheets. I have a routine. I'm very routine regimented, whatever. And the pink thing really threw me off. So everyone knew in the house, Tommy's in a bad mood because he's pink. It was a thing.
But here's the thing. I kind of wish they had an inflatable like Casey or Cody's dinosaur outfit because those
Right. Would have been so much easier, right?
Yeah. But I gotta say, you were a trooper with those two different costumes.
Thanks. Listen, funny enough, when you watch the show, you think, oh, so the way they edit it, they make it look really cute, these punishments. They make it look fun and silly, and you're like, it's not that bad. They're wearing a penis costume, whatever. But that helmet was heavy. After a while, my neck was really killing me. Like I said about the being painted pink, not showering, my skin was so itchy. It was so uncomfortable. And then speed of light, speed of smell, speed of sound, being woken up in the middle of the night. I didn't sleep for that whole entire week. And it's not because I would get woken up, but because I couldn't fall asleep because I was so anxious about getting woken up. So it really is a punishment. And you don't realize that when you're watching the show, but when you're in the house and you're going through it, it really does suck, honestly. So that was something that I learned when I was in the house versus when I was, watching as a fan.
However, you were at the center point at several creative moments that you guys have done. You were the host of the fashion show. You were also that zombie apocalypse that scared the heck out of me, and also the zombie movie, the horror film.
Oh, that was amazing. That was so much fun. Yes, loved that.
And then also, not to mention, very high profile, your music video.
I know, amazing.
The dance party.
Yep.
That would definitely be a portfolio worthy, especially if you have with this flash mob.
Yeah, it's funny because my plan going into the house was to do those fun things with the house guests, because I wanted them to just have fun. I wanted them to love me. I wanted to keep everyone busy. When you're in the house, Wednesdays were the hardest day because it's the day before an eviction. We've been locked in the house for days at that point without the backyard. I think I forget exactly, but I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have no backyard maybe. Is that what it is? Saturday, Sunday, you have it. I forget exactly. But 2 days a week you have the backyard, either Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday. Point is, Wednesday's the hardest day. So what I started doing was trying to make a fun event on a Wednesday to make the Wednesdays easier, lighter, make the mood a little more relaxed. And yeah, 3 of the events that I was definitely at the center of creating were the fashion show, the flash mob, and the movie. And we had so much fun making them. We really did.
But however, sadly, it was not very fun because on several intense days, because Taco Tuesday happened. That was very intense with 2 of your dearest friends in the house. And that final day and that morning, because we saw the intensity of that. It was, my heart broke for you when you were yelling at Jackson. My heart broke for you.
Listen, the truth is, though, so much more happened than what was shown on the show, and the feeds had cut out in that moment. There's so much more to it. There's so many more layers. I love Cliff. We were playing very similar games. We're actually very similar. We were both trying to be the fun guy that got along with everybody, that everyone loved. And I think that Cliff and I, game-wise, we just couldn't get on the same page. And therefore, in those final moments, I couldn't get him. And funny enough, they actually came up to me, Nicole and Cliff, after the blow-up in the kitchen.